ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतिष्ये नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कंत राधा कंत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुल्लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome everyone. I'm very happy to be here with all of you. I think for the first time. I came to Mysore a few times, but today is the day I am getting the opportunity to meet all of you. Hope you are all happy. In ISKCON, if you are happy, then you should say Haribol loudly. If you are not happy, say Haribol little less loudly. Too loud is a problem for the neighbors maybe. Hare Krishna. So indication is that you are happy. So I am also very happy by seeing your happiness. So today I will be speaking on a topic which is the topic of the modern days, experience. Nowadays people love to experience, they don't like to hear theoretical things. So I'll try to speak different levels of experience from Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is very, very deep book for all of us. And more we realize, more we can understand how deep the message of Bhagavad Gita is. So human life is meant to go deeper. That is the purpose of human form of life. So I'll explain the experience at different levels. So we have different levels of existence also. We have visible, external, gross body. We have our mind. We have our intelligence. And we also have the real substance, the eternal substance, that is spirit soul. So how many of you accept that there is spirit soul in our body? Okay, very good. Just to check. In case anybody has any doubt, that can be clarified. So experience of the body is known as enjoyment. Experience of the mind is known as entertainment. Experience of the intelligence is known as enlightenment. And experience of the soul is known as emancipation. So we'll try to address these 4 levels of experience. In this world, people are mainly focused on 2 levels. enjoyment and entertainment. Enjoyment is related to the body and senses, and entertainment is connected with the mind. People love entertainment and people love enjoyment, but they generally don't go beyond that. Because if you want to go beyond these two, enlightenment and emancipation, you need knowledge. And these two levels don't need any knowledge. And logic does not work also. When you enjoy and when we are trying to entertain our mind, logic doesn't work. When we see the movies, we don't see any logic behind that, right? Love stories or whatever stories we see in the movies, logic doesn't work. We just want to enjoy. So I'll try to explain how these two levels cannot make us really happy. What is the inherent flaw in this endeavor? And how enlightenment and emancipation is the real happiness, enjoyment, bliss, whatever we are hankering for. So people are too much into externals nowadays. Enjoyment means external experience. People spend a lot of time, energy to improve the external situation. So they want improvement in their job, means in the form of promotions. They want some improvement in business. They want improvement in living facilities. They want improvement in vehicles, cars. They want improvement in many other aspects, nowadays gadgets. So in that way, they feel if they improve in these areas, they will be more happy. Many years back, I was invited to give a talk in a house, and I was told that that house has 20 to 25 bedrooms. So I was a little inspired also, because I was in the West, and the invitation in the West, so I thought a lot of people will come, because families would be very big. Then I checked how many family members are there in that big house, and I came to know there are only 2 members in the family. I thought, wow, only 2 members, but 20 to 25 bedrooms. So I thought that maybe they have different kinds of sleeping habits. Maybe 10 o'clock the first bedroom, 10:30 the second bedroom. And like that, they change their bedrooms during the night. So in that way, they feel happy. But the tendency is there that we think by increasing the number of bedrooms, we feel that we are becoming happy. It's a feeling. Happiness is like a temptations that will give us happiness. And that is the nature of this world. People are thinking that we are not happy because we don't have this kind of things. They are happy. So we should become like them. That's why those who are in India, they are not happy in India. Why they think if I can stay in US, especially nowadays, then we will be happy. Right? And when they go to that country, they feel that I was better in India. So there was a family. They went to US, and you cannot discipline children in US. If you discipline, then the children can call the police. And the parents are very frustrated. He said, what's the point? So they decided to change their place. They wanted to come back to India. So they came back to India. They landed in Mumbai airport. And the son was really naughty. So as soon as flight landed, so in the airport itself, the boy started. And the father gave him a slap and said, "Call the police. Welcome to India." So people don't feel happy where they are. Why? Because that is the nature of this world. Somebody approached Srila Prabhupada, "I want to go for a world tour." Said, "What you will get by that? Everywhere is the same. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Only variety changes. Nothing is different." But we don't feel like that. Why? Because we feel by changing this kind of activities, we'll be happy. Just like houses. People love to change their houses. Starting with maybe 1 BHK when you're very beginning of your life, not much money. Then 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK, 5 BHK, I don't know how many BHKs are available. Then penthouse, then villas and palaces, then maybe whole country, whatever. But we are thinking by changing like that, our life will be changed. But they don't understand that life partner remains the same. Whether you have 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK, your life partner will be the same. So life is not changing, but we are thinking life is changing. Just like the car. So we like to go to a different level of car. Why? Because we compare. The secret of success, or we feel the success means we should have top brand car in our life. And that's the way our success is defined nowadays. A lot of frustrations because of that. We can be happy without that car, but the society is made like that. Unless you have that car, you are not successful. So whether you have a low brand car or a very expensive car, if you are in Delhi or Mumbai, the traffic is not going to change, right? Whether you are in a very simple car or in a very expensive car, traffic will remain the same. It will take the same time to reach your destination. The purpose of car is to go to our destination. But we forget that. But we think that by changing the brand, my life will change. That is the external way of looking at life. And that is called enjoyment. Enjoyment means what? Enjoyment means supplying the demands of the senses. That is sense enjoyment. The senses are demanding, I want this, I want this. And Bhagavad Gita explains, senses cannot be satisfied. How much food we have supplied to our stomach in this life itself? The stomach is telling, thank you very much, I don't need any more food today. As soon as you wake up, you feel hungry. So, this is the nature of the senses. Bhagavad Gita explains, it's like fire. And sense objects are like butter. If you supply butter or put butter in the fire, fire will not say, oh, thank you, you have given so much butter. More butter? I need more. I need more. That is the nature of this world. That's why Krishna speaks completely opposite in Bhagavad Gita. He says, what is the sense enjoyment? What sense enjoyment can give? Jai sangasparshaja bhoga dukkha jana evate addantavanta konteya natesu ramate buddha. He is telling that misery is take birth at the place where the senses and sense objects are united. If you talk this verse to the people in general, they will be completely devastated by hearing this. But that is the reality. That is the reality. And what is intelligence? Intelligence means who does not endeavor to become happy by sense enjoyment. That is the message of Bhagavad Gita. That's why you have to understand that the so-called attraction for the sense objects is only attraction. Just like if you are in a desert, you can see that there is water. And you get attracted by that. And you run behind that water. But there is no water. You go that place, then water again shifts. So happiness in this world is also like that. We're thinking that we'll be happy. And that temptations keep us going. That is the journey of this world. Very interesting journey. And Krishna has devised his journey wonderfully. But those who are intelligent, they see this. That's very, very important. Sometimes people say, why you talk so much negative about this world? So I give the example. There is no water in the desert. It's a positive statement or it's a negative statement? It's a factual statement, right? So you can give a seminar, you can give on giving a series of seminars that there is water in the desert. There will be water in the desert. So so-called motivational talk is like that. Krishna gave that real talk, real motivational talk. He said this world is dukkhalayam. Like there is no water in the desert. Because Krishna does not cheat people. He is an honest person. He is the man of integrity. He wants to help people. That's why he tells the truth. So human life is meant to know the truth, not become enamored or allured or attracted by the so-called falsehood of this material world. Then you may ask why this world is dukkhala, why this place is the place of miseries. Krishna also tells that because this world has an inherent flaw. What is the flaw? Ashashvatam. Everything is temporary. Whatever is temporary cannot give us happiness. Happiness and temporary can go together. So why this world is the world of misery? Because this world is temporary. Everything is temporary here, including our body and senses. But we become attached to that temporary beauty of this material body. And people become very attached to that. So there was a lady, and she was very attached to her beauty. And she was growing old. Still, attachment, we should not think when you become old, attachment reduces. No. The strength of the senses reduce. Attachment does not reduce. That lady, in order to keep her beauty intact, she started using lot of cosmetics. And nobody could understand how old is she. Very difficult. But somehow, whether people can understand or not understand, but she was growing old. And she became very, very sick. And she was hospitalized. And doctor said, I cannot help you out. Only God can help you. And that is the last medicine. God. Nothing works, go to God, right? That's why we make a joke that when you become sick, go for allopathy. Allopathy doesn't work. Go for homeopathy, doesn't work. Naturopathy, nothing works. Go to Tirupati. That works. So that lady was advised by the doctor that I am not going to treat you because I am not able to cure you. Only God can help you out. So lady said, okay, I'll pray to the Lord. So she intensely prayed to the Lord. And Lord appeared in front of her and said, what do you want from me? He said, I don't want to die now. I want to live for a few more years. Lord said, so it be. Tathastu. She was very happy. She came to the doctor. He said, Lord told me that I can live for a few more years. So I can go home, right? He said, yes, definitely you can go home. So she started preparing to go home, and in the hospital she was not using cosmetics. So he started using his cosmetics, came to her original constitutional position. Then she left the hospital and she was on the way to the house, and one car came on the road and hit her, and she was dead on the spot. And she became very upset. And she was in front of the Lord. He said, what kind of Lord are you? What kind of God are you? Just now you told me that I can live for a few more years. Now I am dead. He said, my dear lady, please forgive me. I could not recognize you. Because the form I saw in the hospital and the road, very difficult for me to recognize you. That's why I made the mistake. Please forgive me. So you can cover up yourself, but reality you cannot escape. That is dukkhalayam asasatam. That is living in falsehood. So therefore, sense enjoyment is one level of enjoyment. Then people go for entertainment, mind. Previously people used to go to the movies. Nowadays, no need to go to the movie theaters because everything is there in your mobile phone. Entertainment, social media. Logic doesn't work. Different kinds of things we see. And people spend hours and hours and hours for nothing. And thinking we are enjoying life. Right? That is the reality of this world. We are already in virtual reality. We are coming from the spiritual world. Now we are in the material world. Now another level. Now social media. Facebook. So we don't have friends in our real life, but we hanker for Facebook friends. And they look so happy in Facebook. And in real life, they're very frustrated. People are so frustrated. Depression is the disease of the century now. People are very depressed. Small thing, people cannot adjust. Now, suicide rate is increasing like anything. I was hearing a story that one of my friends from IIT, he told me that one student, he was planning to suicide because he came second in his last semester. All of the semesters, he was the top. And he could not adjust that he became second. Mind. This mind, the social pressure. And people are in tension. So I always give the example of three kinds of students. And two kinds of students are very happy. And one kind of student is very miserable. The first category of student, they are very happy. Why? They go to the classes regularly, take notes, revised the syllabus many times, and day before the exam, just waiting for the exam day, waiting for the question paper. They are fully prepared, no anxiety, very happy. Another category, they are happier. They never went to the class, doesn't know what is there in the book. Whether anybody has faith in God or not, they have full faith in God, that God cannot also help them to pass. Why to worry? Happily enjoying life and disturbing others, those who are studying. So, who is suffering? In between. Attended few classes, forgot to take notes of certain chapters, day before the exam, they're in anxiety, whether I studied this, studied that, revised that. So what is the symptom of a good student? My father used to tell me that what he is doing on the day before the exam. Good student is that student who is very cool on that day before the exam. But most of the students, they are in anxiety because they did not fall in these two categories. So our situation is also like that. Those who are in gross ignorance, they are also enjoying life. Right? And those who are Paramhansas, those who are pure devotees, they are also enjoying life. Problem is practicing devotees, not trying to enjoy this world and not having the experience of the spiritual happiness. So that is the problem. So coming back to the point of mind. Mind is very, very important aspect, internal aspect, because we are not happy because of the mind. So why mind is not happy? Because mind is imbalanced. So how mind can be happy or mind can be peaceful? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Bhaktarang Jagatapasang Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Shuvidhang Sarvabhutanam Gyattamang Santamicchati. The experience of happiness is dependent on the peacefulness of the mind. Unless mind is peaceful, we cannot enjoy this world, even if all the facilities are there. Just like some students who are together and they are trying to enjoy a party, and one of their friends results came out today. Everything changed. Then one boy said, what happened to my results? He said, you failed. So everything is there, but he cannot enjoy. Why? Mind. He heard the news that he failed. So you can understand that external facilities are there. Everything is there. So in this modern world, all the facilities are available, but people are experiencing depression. Why? Because mind is not properly situated. So Bhagavad Gita talks about that. Arjuna was depressed. Why? Because his mind was not in proper shape. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken to bring back the real condition of the mind of Arjuna. So we can experience the happiness of the senses also, provided our mind is properly situated. And Krishna says how we can keep our mind in proper consciousness by doing two things, Abhyas and Vairagya, practice and detachment. These two things are very, very important. We are very, very attached. So attachment means expectations, and expectations lead to frustrations. Mind always expects, and these expectations are the root cause of our frustrations. And in Kali Yuga, expectation is very, very high. Every boy is thinking that his wife should be like Sita Devi. They have a list, this quality, that quality, this quality, they make a list of that, expectations. And they write down those expectations also. But he forgets that he expects Sita like wife, but he forgets that he is not Ram, he is Ravana. But expectation is high. And the girl also expects that her husband will be like Lord Ram. And they also have different points, checklist. And I heard that checklist is also shared with each other nowadays. Expectation checklist. This is a relationship. And we talk about relationship because there is no relationship nowadays. We give seminar on relationship because there is no relationship. Relationship is not about seminar, it's the real life experience. That is relationship, which is naturally there in the Vedic system of life. So, the girl also thinks that my husband will be like that. But she also forgets that she is not Sita, she is Surpanakha. But expectation is very high. That's why problem. Yes, the problem. Unreasonable expectations. Why you are frustrated? Because reality and expectation, there is a big gap. So how we can be satisfied? When our expectations are flexible. And how our expectation can be flexible? When our mind is properly trained. That's why we need wisdom. Unless we have knowledge, we cannot have flexibility in our approach towards life. That's why Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna to make his life flexible. Flexibility is very, very important. So what is knowledge? Can you tell me? What is the meaning of knowledge? When you talk about knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, what is knowledge? Just to know your understanding. What is knowledge? Feel free, whatever you understand, please tell me. What is knowledge?
And not to expect impossible things.
Huh?
Not to expect impossible things.
That is knowledge. Okay. Any other point? What is knowledge?
The truth.
Huh?
Which reveals the truth.
Which reveals the truth? That's knowledge. What else?
Knowledge is power.
Huh?
Knowledge is power. Power.
Power. Okay. Interesting.
Knowledge can rule the world.
Huh?
Knowledge can rule the world.
I am not asking what knowledge can do. I am asking what is knowledge.
Understanding a particular subject matter.
Understanding a particular subject matter. Okay. Anything else? Facts.
Realization of God.
Huh?
Realization of God.
Realization of God. Okay.
Understanding the right things in right way.
Understanding the right thing in a right way.
Control mind.
To control mind. Okay. Different answers. Interesting answers. Anything else? Okay. The list ends now. Knowledge means to know what is matter and what is spirit, what is temporary and what is permanent, and who is the controller of both. That is the meaning of knowledge. So, but in this world, we always talk about temporary things. We don't talk about eternal things. And we don't talk about who is the controller. Because we don't know who is the controller. So, real knowledge means to know what is matter, what is spirit. To know what is temporary, what is eternal, permanent, and who is the controller of both. That is called knowledge. And when we have that knowledge, then life becomes very peaceful. Bhaktarang Jagatapasang. Krishna is telling, I am the supreme enjoyer. Why we are so much in anxiety? Because we think we are the enjoyers. And Krishna says, why I am the enjoyer? Because I am the proprietor of everything. Everything. And I am the only friend. Well-wishing friend of everyone. If someone realizes this, then immediately he will attain peace of mind. This is called peace formula, as per Bhagavad Gita. So now there is a question. Why Krishna is the enjoyer? Why not me? Because we cannot be the enjoyer because we are not the proprietor. You may say, come on, we are also the proprietor. The house is in my name. The car is also in my name. Bank account, debit card, credit card, everything is in my name. You are telling I am not the proprietor. I am the proprietor. And that is the main problem. If I am the proprietor, then I should be the controller. What is the basic qualification of a proprietor? He must be the controller. If I think I am the proprietor of my body, no problem to claim that, then you have to qualify for that. What is the qualification? You must be able to control your body. So how many of you think you can control your body? Okay. Nobody is raising hand. But we love to be the controllers, right? We think that we are the controllers. Husband is thinking, I am the controller. Wife is thinking, what he thinks? I am the controller. Everybody is thinking, who is in control? And people say, I am the proprietor, or I am the CEO, I am the managing director of a company. Under me, 7,000 employees, 10,000 employees are working under me. This is the greatest illusion. We are thinking everybody is under me. Nobody is under us. That is the illusion. So why this illusion? Illusion comes from ignorance. So Krishna is the controller. If I am the controller of my body, then there will not be any death of my body. There will not be any old age of my body. There will not be any disease of my body. Right? We don't want all this, but it happens in our life. So it's not enough to understand that we are not the controller. Still we don't accept it. That is the power of ignorance. That's why ignorance is the driving force of so-called enjoyment of this world. So enjoyment without knowledge leads to frustrations. And enjoyment with knowledge leads to enlightenment. So that's why Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. Intellectual endeavor to get the real knowledge will make our entertainment and enjoyment to a different level that is called enlightenment. If we really want to enjoy, if you really want to experience the entertainment, that should be backed up with proper transcendental knowledge. So there is no harm to enjoy, but we have to know how to enjoy. Prabhupada says, if you want to enjoy, then join the party of Krishna. But we don't like to join the party of Krishna. We want to have our own party. That's why in that party we get frustrations. Because I am the center. When I am the center, that concept will lead to frustrations. When Krishna is the center, that will lead to enlightenment and emancipation, the experience of the bliss. The soul experiences the bliss, and bliss means happiness and also peace of the mind. All are there in bliss or emancipation. That is very, very important point to understand. So Bhagavad Gita does not discourage to enjoy. Rather, Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to enjoy. When we add Krishna in our life, Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness means giving up the falsity of this world, and we don't have to give up anything, we just have to add Krishna in our life. That is knowledge. Knowledge means Krishna. Vedasya sarver ahameva vidya. So I have to be understood. Krishna says, why you are studying so much? If I know Krishna, then I know everything, because Krishna is the source of everything, also all knowledge. So therefore, understanding Krishna is very, very important. So self-realization automatically comes from God realization. So why we are not happy? Because we are not connected. Disconnect. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches, why you are suffering in this world? Krishna bhuli sei jeev, anadi bohir mukh, atev maya taredai sangsara dukh. Why you are suffering in this world? Because of the inherent problem that we are disconnected from Krishna, and because of that we are forgetful of Krishna. Whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to remind us that Krishna is the source of everything. Get connected with Him. What is the meaning of yoga? Yoga doesn't mean physical exercise. Yoga means to connect the spirit soul with the Supreme Lord. That connection will give us the experience of happiness. Why you are suffering? Because you are disconnected. Material life is a life of disconnect. Spiritual life is the life of connection. And how we can connect? Through the process of yoga. And in this age of Kali, the process is very simplified. What is the process? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the process of yoga. Mantra meditation. But people don't accept this process. They think they want to do Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga is very, very difficult and impossible to be practiced in this age of Kali. Because the process of Ashtanga yoga is very, very long. Valmiki Muni did Ashtanga yoga meditation for 60,000 years. And we live for 60 to 70 years. I was giving a lecture in Australia and telling different duration of life in different yugas. I was telling in Satya Yuga it was 100,000 years, in Treta Yuga 10,000 years, Dapar Yuga 1,000 years, Kali Yuga 100 years. And one new man came in my class and he was so happy hearing that. Thank God, Kali Yuga only 100 years. Very difficult, no? Living is very difficult. So many suicides even after this 100 years of age. If it is 100,000 years, very difficult. In Kali Yuga, everything is difficult. Committing suicide is also difficult. One boy tried to hang from the fan, the rope broke. He said, this is not working, better I go to the railway track and give up my life. And he was waiting and the train was not coming, it was so late. He was frustrated and gave up the idea. Everything is very difficult in Kali Yuga. People are frustrated. And he cannot commit suicide also to come out from these frustrations. This is Kali Yuga. Why? Because it is the Yuga of Adharma, Yuga of ignorance. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is very, very important to enlighten us, to situate ourselves on reality. But we are trying to enjoy thinking something which is totally unrealistic. It's not going to happen. But still, after hearing also, we are not convinced. Why? Because we have the experience of sense enjoyment only. We don't have any experience of enlightenment. That's the problem as a practicing devotee. That's why we have to experience it. When we experience the happiness, then no more talk is needed because experience is there. Why we need so many seminars? To convince ourselves that we have to be connected with the Lord. There is no need to hear any seminar for enjoying our senses, right? We are totally convinced because we have practiced it and also got perfection in that. There is no need of any seminar that how to be attracted by the opposite sex. Is there any need of any seminar for that? Why? Because already you have achieved perfection in that. Automatically is there. Naturally it is there. Somebody asked Prabhupada, what is the meaning of love of Godhead? This is a very interesting word now. What is love of Godhead? They have heard about love. But love of Godhead, what is that? He said, the way we are attracted by the opposite sex in this world, when that kind of attraction will be developed for Krishna, that is called love of Godhead. Understood? Very clearly understood. So, this is very simple. We don't have to give up anything. We just have to add Krishna in our life. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness means loving Krishna. And what is the meaning of loving Krishna? Doing things for Krishna, for His pleasure. We have to do things for the pleasure of somebody. That is our natural tendency, right? We cannot be happy alone. You cannot be happy in an island, no? A big palace is given, all the facilities of enjoyment are there, but you are alone. Can you be happy? You cannot be happy. We need people to be happy with. That's why that person, Krishna is telling, I am that person. Add me in your life, then your life will become perfect. And that is the process of Krishna consciousness. There is no fear of losing anything. People become fearful. As soon as they think about Bhakti, as soon as they think about Bhagavad Gita, yeah. Husband is thinking wife is gone, wife is thinking husband is gone, parents are thinking my children are gone. They become very scared if they are interested in Bhagavad Gita. Why now? Why now? Now is the time for enjoyment. When you become like 50, 60 years old, that time knowledge of Bhagavad Gita should be taught. Right or wrong? That is the slogan. But what do you think? When Bhagavad Gita should be spoken? When Bhagavad Gita should be learned? When somebody asked Prabhupada, why only young boys and girls in your society? Prabhupada said, why only young boys and girls are going to the school? Because that is the time for learning. Yes, spiritual life is all about learning, not ringing bells. Spiritual life is also a learning. Prabhupada has revolutionized spirituality. We think spirituality means going to the temples or giving some puja, ringing some bell, taking some bath. That is spirituality. Spirituality means asking questions. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Who am I? Who is God? What is my connection with God? Who I was before this life? What I will be after death? These are the questions we should ask. When that kind of question come into our mind, then human life really begins. It is known as Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So spirituality means asking questions, spiritual questions. Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna by Krishna because Arjuna asked questions. We have to ask questions. These questions, we ask so many questions in our life, but all these questions are related to eating, sleeping, mating and defending. When we ask question beyond these four activities, then human life begins. And that is the purpose of human form of life. And that will give us real enjoyment. That will give us real entertainment, what we are all hankering for. So I'll end here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Some questions?
Hare Krishna devotees, if you have any questions to ask, we're really thankful to Maharaj for coming and giving a very, very thought-provoking presentation on 4 levels of experiences from Bhagavad Gita. First is enjoyment, entertainment, enlightenment. Perfect. Maharaj, your presentation is successful.
At least they remembered 4 words. Very good.
Yeah. So, any questions you have?
Emancipation is the experience of the soul, the bliss, the real happiness, what we are hankering for. That will come from connection between the soul and the Supreme Lord. That is called emancipation. Any question from this side, that side? Hope my talk was understandable, clear to you. So it is said, if you don't have any question, means two things happen. Either you understood everything. Second, you know. Okay, in between is very important. You should ask some questions because asking question is very, very important.
Maharaj, actually you said the 4 phases, right? And constantly we go through different phases. And how to, like, is there any practical advice? How can we reach the stage of emancipation? Or sometimes entertainment is there, enlightenment is there, and then again you go back with so many responsibilities and things. And
It's a journey, it's not a destination. You have to experience. That's why I said it's an experience. Destination is also there, going back home, back to Godhead, that is a destination. But that destination is transcendental destination. But real thing is an experience, it's a journey. So we have to balance our life. It's not going to happen in one day. Practice. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Jukta hara viharasya, Jukta chastasya karmasya, Jukta sapna bhavadasya, Joga bhavati dukkha. We have to balance it. Our eating has to be balanced, recreation has to be balanced. In the same way, our spiritual life, social life, our professional life, household life, everything has to be balanced. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that we should give 8 hours time for our body, 8 hours time for our soul, and 8 hours for our duties. Balance. Time has to be also allocated properly. So we give so much time on our duties because it's very demanding, and we neglect other aspects of our life. That's why so much imbalance. That's why you're so frustrated. No time. When we talk about spirituality, no time, no night to die or to talk about spirituality. So busy, running. Because you have to pay the bills, you have to maintain your so many things. For that you need money, and to get that money you have to work hard. That's why other aspects are neglected. And that's why even after so much external facilities, people are depressed. Why? Because imbalance. Okay? So balancing is very, very important. For that you need a guide who will guide you how to balance it. Because every individual is in a unique position, so they need specific help. And that help can be given by a person who has this wisdom and also has his balanced life. He can give you some balanced guidance to give you so that your life will become balanced. Okay? Detachment from emotions cannot be there because we have to have emotions. But we have to spiritualize the emotions. Unless you have some higher connection, you cannot adjust with this loss of your near one and dear ones. So when we situate ourselves in our eternal position by connecting ourselves with the divine, then we can adjust or we can tolerate the sufferings that come in different forms in this material world. So higher connection is very, very important. Tolerance of so many things. We are talking about losing near one, dear ones. There are going to be so many loss of job, somebody treated you very badly. So many things happen in our life. That's why Krishna says, just like summer and winter come and go, in the same way, unless we are detached, we cannot tolerate. Because unless we know, this is all temporary. Temporary nature. Happiness is also temporary. Miserable condition is also temporary. Right? That's why people, those who are in knowledge, they don't become very joyful when good time comes. Oh, wow, they know because this is going to go away. And they don't become depressed when bad time comes because he also knows this is not going to stay forever. So they become very detached because they know both are temporary. The secret is that we should not take anything in this world very seriously because everything is temporary and changing. But we become very depressed because we think this is the way. Everybody, everything should be with us eternally. That's not going to happen. Everything has to go, including our near one and dear ones. That's why we have to find our real near one and dear one. Then we can manage this problem of this world in a more balanced way. Okay? Any other? This side.
There are a lot of distractions around the world. How can we constantly think of connecting with God?
Constantly is a very high level of Krishna consciousness. At least journey should begin. It can be half an hour. Even during japa, our mind is distracted. What to talk about other time? And some people say during japa time, mind is most distracted. Right? So mind is distracted. Why? Because mind is very attached. Attachment, material attachment leads to distractions. It's not a formula that will be totally focused on Krishna. It cannot be possible. As long as material attachment will be there, we cannot be focused. Detachment is very much needed. That's why Krishna says detachment and practice. If you keep on enjoying our life and at the same time thinking that I will be focusing on Krishna, it's not going to happen. We have to do both. We have to withdraw the senses from sense objects and engage the senses in the service of the Lord. When two things happen simultaneously as a journey, then slowly, mind will become peaceful. And when mind will become peaceful, then you can focus on spirituality. It's a journey. Okay?
Maharaj, you said like everything is temporary and you
I never said. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita.
Krishna says so.
I am repeating what Krishna said.
So you told about 4 kinds of experiences. So are these experiences also temporary? Like after
No, I said that enjoyment and entertainment that is connected with the senses and mind are temporary. But when we have spiritual knowledge, this will become spiritualized. When we engage our senses in the service of the Lord, when we think of Krishna, then this mind activity and sense activity will become spiritualized. That's called Bhakti. Then this enjoyment and entertainment also will become permanent. Because it's connected with the permanent person. But now we are not connecting this with permanent thing. We are connecting these things with the temporary things of this world. That's why this is not giving happiness. But when we connect with the eternal thing, then that same activity will give us happiness. That is the science of Krishna consciousness. Don't give up anything. Just connect with the proper person. Okay?
So, after getting the tremendous efforts or guidance from yourself, Prabhuji, Saturday, Sunday, my life is very peaceful. Monday onwards, again the routine starts with all my knowledge, with all my routine activities. I'm very much stressed because of the job which I am doing. So I'm unable to complete that particular day activity. So a lot of pressure. Again, I have to go home and again I have to work. So this what I feel. So how to overcome this? I can't tell because whatever I have learned, I am applicating in my office. So I'm working for an organization with called as Automotive Axle. So we are basically the manufacturing industry where we have too much workload and it has to be done in that particular day itself. But I may not concentrate that particular day. I can't complete that particular activity. How to overcome this by mixing my spiritual life? I can't concentrate both my family life as well as spiritual life.
That's why.
Only dedication towards job.
That's why I told, unless you have a balanced life, you cannot lead a peaceful and happy life. If you only focus on one activity and neglecting the other aspect of your life, that is called imbalanced life. An imbalanced life means frustrations. And that is the cause of misery. And Krishna says, when you lead a balanced life, all your miseries will go away. Dukkha, all miseries will go away. So there is no alternative, magic formula. You have to balance your life. Body, mind, soul. This has to be balanced. Just like if the aircraft has to fly, it has to be balanced. If the car has to move, it has to be balanced. It must have four wheels. Balance. Everything is a balance. So our life is also a balance. Unless we have a balance, how we can experience something good in our life? So balancing is very, very important. And for that, how to balance? You need knowledge. How to balance? You need a guide. Even if you want to play cricket, you need to know how to balance. Every field, we have to be balanced. And spiritual activities should happen early in the morning. That needs also a balance. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. That slogan is no more there nowadays. Because when you get up generally and they go to sleep, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock they go to sleep, how they can have balanced life? I was giving a talk on Bhakti Thakur. Have you heard Bhakti Thakur? You should read his story. He was a magistrate and having a big family. 10 or 11 sons he had. And I was giving a talk that Bhakti Thakur used to sleep 7:30 in the evening, and he used to get up at 10 o'clock. Then I was giving a lecture to the youth and they are so happy. Oh, 10 o'clock, similar like us. Then I said, not 10 o'clock in the morning. He used to get up 10 o'clock at night. Then they became very depressed. What's the point of sleeping then? But he's a high level of spirituality, so we cannot imitate that, but he also showed how to balance life. Having a family, such a huge, big family. Okay? So when we have a proper goal in our life, then naturally, in order to achieve that goal, we have to balance our life. But problem is that people don't know what is the goal of life. They think problem solving is the goal of our life. You ask, most of the people in this world don't know what is the goal of life. Student life में तो बोल देते हैं, I want to become a doctor, I have to become an engineer. After they become, they forget what is the goal. Now I have become, what is the goal? They don't know what is the goal. Most of the people don't know what is the goal of life. They think solving problem is the goal of life. And that's why they are paid so much to solve problem. Right? And they forget that what is the real problem of life. So that is the problem. Problem solving is the problem of life. Because there is no solution. One problem will be solved, another will quickly follow. And we'll dream one day there will be no problem. That dream will always remain dream only. That day I will do bhakti when there will be no problem. That is the biggest problem. Okay? So, we'll wind up now. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions and attentively hearing. Hope whatever I spoke made some sense and some knowledge will be helpful in your journey. And Prabhupada gave this wonderful knowledge through his books. So read his books properly, then things will be very, very, very clear, crystal clear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, His Holiness Bhakti Pracharak Swami.
Not Bhakti Pracharak, Bhakti Prachar, Parivrajaka Swami.
So, Hare Krishna, so one of the four unlearned experiences you didn't have to hear from me today, which is a blissful engagement for all of you with the presence of Maharaj coming here. So we have a short arati now, and then afterwards we will have prasad. We have made around 9 to 10 course made for all of you. This is Hare Krishna. So